What's going on, Misfit Nation? Welcome to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Matt, the Misfit, for your day one of Stardom's 5-Star Grand Prix opening night show, whatever you want to call it. Don't get too cute with this. I'm not going to be doing separate reviews of the 5-Star Grand Prix. I just thought the show was big enough to cover as its own review. There was a lot of things that happened on this show. We'll talk about that. But first, let's plug everything here. You can follow me on social media, Misfit Wrestling Pod, on Instagram and on Threads, and on whatever the fuck Twitter is going to be called in the next 24 hours. Misfit Podcast TV. You can follow the audio outlets: Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Pandora, and there was another one I'm probably missing. I'm pretty sure. Did I say Audible? I probably did say Audible. Oh well, it's up there. Oh, Google Podcasts, that was the other one. And Spotify. If I probably mentioned that too, maybe not. And then you can also find me on Twitter, on YouTube. YouTube.com/Misfit Wrestling Podcast. We had the blocks, the show on the first. I don't know how they're going to, because I don't know particularly how they do the 5-Star Grand Prix. Have they show these matches? I'll find out. But I do plan on watching, because I am also watching. I've been keeping up with the G1 Climax, which I'm going to talk about in the Pile Driver Pulse later today. I'm going to record that to put up on Spotify and the other audio outlets. But I wanted to watch this show live. Paid the $34 for the event. And I loved every bit of it. The ending was very, very interesting because, well, we'll talk about that. But we have an injury on this show, a scary one. But we'll talk about that when we get to that as well. Utami Hayashishita returned from her excursion from the United States. Adapted the new finisher that she was handed down by Shayna Baszler. We'll talk about that. I think we saw the return of Momo Watanabe in form, and what I mean by that is she was motivated, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the incredible match that Syuri and Suzu Suzuki had. Mayu Iwatani and Hazuki had a great fucking match. Giulia and Saori Anou wanted to kill each other. Upset of this in tournament. With the Utami Mariah May match, Maika wrecking Hanan shit, which we'll talk about too. That was pretty funny. But yeah, let's talk about it here. So night one opened up with a gauntlet tag team match. First off, we had May Sakurai and Thekla. They teamed with Mai Sourei, defeated the team of Momo, Kogo, Kuguma, Saya Kamitani, and Saki Kashima from Stars, and from God's Eye, Saki Kashima, Yuna Minazori, I believe that's her name, and Hanako. I think those two are from God's Eye. I know Saki Kashima. This is her first pay-per-view event as part of. I think this is her first, technically her first pay-per-view event with God's Eye. 9 minutes. My Sakurai, Thekla, and Mai Sourei beat the team of Stars and members of God's Eye. It seems like so nothing. I didn't even know this match was taking place, so I missed it completely. So there's that. The show opened. Technically, this is the first match of the 5-Star Grand Prix, which is part of the red block, or not red block, the blue block, or the Blue Stars, what do you want to call it? I'm going to call it the blue block because it just sounds more fun to talk about like that. This is technically, it was on the pre-show, but it was also still the opening match of the entire tournament. They started off with showing like this. They had this silhouette around the ring, and they were showing clips from previous 5-Star Grand Prix with winners like Io Shirai, Kairi Sane, and Giulia, who won last year. Utami Hayashishita, who is a tournament favorite in this year's tournament. who won it the year prior to that. Syuri, who won it the year prior to Giulia winning it. Hanan Kimura, who won it 1 year. I think Momo Watanabe won it 1 year. Let me look here. I think she did. Let me do some looking here. Yeah, she won. Yeah, she didn't win it actually. Never mind. Okay, so she hasn't won the 5-star Grand Prix before. She won the Cinderella tournament. I couldn't remember which tournament she had won. Actually, let's look at the past winners. Why don't we, of the 5-star Grand Prix? And we'll do that here, right here, live, or not live, but you know what I mean. So first winner was Yuzuki Akiyawa. I believe it's her name. I probably butchered her name. Nanae Takahashi, Io Shirai, Kairi Hojo, Yoko Obito, who is retired, who beat Tessa Blanchard in the finals. Then we had Toni Storm, who won it. Mayu Iwatani, Hana Kimura, like I said, late Hana Kimura, who beat Konami for that. That's that trophy in 2019, 2020, which was a terrible year for a lot of wrestling going on. Utami Hayashishita won that year. Then the following year was Syuri, and then last year was Giulia beating Tam Nakano in the finals. So I thought that was pretty cool. They had everybody walking off here. They had Maika, who was my pick to win this year's tournament, in the middle of the ring like a boss. We'll talk about Maika fucking in her match in a second. And they went up the ramp to do their little poses here. Funny enough, well, not funny. It's more of like interesting notes that during this roll call, if you will, Utami was not even there, and people were wondering, "Well, what's going to happen? Like, is she going to have a new look? Whatever." We'll talk about that in just a little bit here. But the night started off with Maika defeating, obviously, decisively, by the way, defeating Hanan on almost 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Hanan started the match trying to get one up on Maika. Maika was doing her entrance, and Hanan attacked her. I've noticed this with Queen's Quest quite a bit this tournament. They've been showing a lot of like edge to them in a way, which is good. You need to. With Utami coming back and seemingly having another person in Queen's Quest. We don't know if that person, we'll talk about her in a little bit, but I don't know if she's actually like an official member of Queen's Quest now. But she may be an associate. We'll figure that out as this tournament progresses and as we get to the finals on September 3rd, was it September 30th? But Maika, like I said, was getting worked on a lot by Hanan, and then Maika's like, I had enough of this shit. Started giving her suplexes and shit like that, and viciously like put some stank on her Michinoku driver to get the win. And Maika she gets 2 points on the board. Obviously, if you don't know the rules of the 5-star Grand Prix, it's the same thing as the G1 Climax. A win gets you 2 points on the board. A draw gets you 1, and if you get disqualified or counted out or you lose, you get no points. That's basically how that works. So Maika got 2 points on the board in dominant fashion. Hopefully, we see more of her dominating her red block here. Mariah May took on Azumi next. Also part of the red block as well, or blue block as well. This match was really good. It started off slow a little bit, but the pace picked up because Azumi knows how to pick up the pace. Azumi is one of my favorite wrestlers on the planet. You guys know this. I praise her quite a bit. But the surprising part of this entire thing was Mariah May actually got the win, clean win rather, on Azumi, and that didn't see that coming at all. I fully predicted, if you saw watched my, or listed my predictions of the Power Driver Pulse last Sunday, you heard me say that Azubi was my pick to go over. That didn't happen, but Mariah May, clean victory, got 2 points on the board. We'll see what happens here. Don't know if it's gonna be quite the ride for the Queen's Quest outside of Utami in this tournament. But I hope Azumi can bounce back from that loss in the next night 2, whenever night 2 is. We'll find that out. So there's that. Natsuko Tora defeated Ami Sourei in 4 minutes and 48 seconds. Natsuko Tora, whose leadership is in question right now, going on with everything that's going on with Oeira Tai. But she was able to get 2 points on the board. And the match is not something not all that special. She gets the win here with a running senton from the top rope. And again, so far not looking good for a Queen's Quest or a God's Eye for that matter. So, and I think Hanan is a member of Hanan is a member of God's Eye, but I'm not sure. Now, Hanan is part of Stars, so Stars, God's Eye, and Queen's Quest didn't have a great start in this tournament here. Natsupoi took on a new Starlight Kid. Starlight Kid had a new look to her. First, I'm still trying to figure out if I like it or not. But it's probably I'm going to have to get used to it. I'm just not used to seeing Kid without with short hair. But Starlight Kid is still amazing. I mean, come on now. This match was actually really, really good. Natsupoi is really good. Natsupoi gets 2 points on the board. She defeats Starlight Kid. I kind of seen that one coming. So I wasn't really expecting Starlight Kid to get the victory here. But again, great match. Nothing too much to write home about here. A great match all around is what I thought here. Starlight Kid, hopefully Starlight Kid can, like Azumi and whatnot, can bounce back. I'm hoping they can. I hope she can, but we'll find out here. Utami Hayashishita defeated Mina Shirakawa in one of my favorite matches of the night. Mina Shirakawa talked all that shit on social media, which I thought was pretty funny. So let me see if I can find this tweet here. See if I can find it here. So Mina was talking about some stuff on complaining about Mina, or complaining about Utami being in America while she's defending the championship, whenever. And Utami is like, winning a title makes me feel good. I know how it feels to carry something very important with you, but I'm busier than you, and it's nighttime in America. Good night. And she's right then and there. She ended her shit, and it was funny. And Utami again gets the win. Obviously, she comes out here looking all boss-like. Has this new. She went over to America. She trained with Shayna Baszler. We'll talk about her in a second. Io Shirai, now known as Io Sky, and Natalia. She took her like a boss. Took a picture of her with Io, reuniting with Io Sky, getting some guidance from the original Red Queen, the founder of Queen's Quest. And it seems like her journey and her trip, getting to train with Io and them and Shayna, looks like it's going to play into this story that she's telling here in her 5-star. Because she won with the gut wrench, I think it's the gut wrench powerbomb suplex thing. That move Shayna Baszler does. She is calling that the shocking Baszler. She's naming it after Shayna taught it to her and passed it down to Utami and speaking of Shayna, so Shayna says Red Queen X Queen of Spades. And somebody hilariously asked, I need her to come back and handle Ronda Rousey, or you got it. And Shayna's like, nah, I got this one. She's welcome to some leftovers though. So, but no surprise here. Utami defeats Mina Shirakawa with the shocking Baszler. Great match. So far was my favorite match of the night. Wasn't though, because another match that took place on the show ended up being my favorite match of the night, and that's in the next match. Well, not the next match, but we'll get to that. But Utami, 2 points on the board so far. Hanan, Azumi, Amy, Starlight Kid, and Mina Shirakawa have no points on the board. Momo Watanabe defeated Mirai, 9 minutes and 56 seconds. And this, to me, was a return to form for Momo Watanabe. The Black Peach seems to be back in her winning ways. At first, this match started off slow, but then it started like Momo's all of a sudden started becoming what made her be regarded as one of the best wrestlers in the world. To me, she is still the greatest Wonder of Stardom champion. And that reign she had was legendary with that title. She pinned and funny and even enough, oddly enough, she pinned the champion. So as the rule, and usually how this works with the G1 and as the 5-star is that even if you don't win the tournament and you end up getting a win over the champion in the tournament, you end up getting a title match. So it looks like because Momo wrecked her shit with a fucking knee or a kick to the face, and Mirai acted like she died, and it was great. I loved it. She hit her one of her I don't know what she did. I don't know what she calls it, but it's like a pile driver of some sort that she used. Got the 2, eventually kicked her ass into the face. It kicked Mirai into the face, killed her instantly. Went for get ready and hit her with the peach bomb. Actually, no, she didn't hit her with the peach bomb. She tried that one pile driver first. Got the 2. Then she picked her up again for the peach driver or peach bomb, whatever you want to call it. 1, 2, 3. Momo Watanabe gets the win, gets 2 points on the board. Looks like she's back into her winning weeks. I hope that's the case. I don't see Momo winning the tournament at all, but I can see her having a great ass showing in this tournament. Hopefully this means we get, because I said this on Twitter and I said before the match, I said let's find out which version of Momo Watanabe we're gonna get. Are we gonna get a motivated Momo Watanabe, or we're gonna get a I don't give a shit, like I'm just happy to be here Momo Watanabe? It turns out in this match at least we got a motivated Momo Watanabe, and a motivated Black Peach is a dangerous Black Peach, and I envy anybody who gets in cross of her. So there we go. Syuri took on Suzu Suzuki in a Red Stars block here. We got one of the first Red Star block matches. Our second Red Star block match of the night. First one being Natsupoi and Starlight Kid. This was awesome. This match was awesome, off the chain, like reversals. I can't even do this match justice. You have to go back and watch this match yourself to show you. And it only was 11 minutes and 20 seconds. And after this match was over, I wanted more between these two. And we're probably going to get more between these two when this whole tournament is over with. Because who knows? They may end up being in the finals together again. Who knows? Like, this match could happen again in the finals of the red block. This match was awesome. Like, I cannot wait for the eventual rematch. But Syuri gets the win here. She gets 2 points on the board. And I thought it was a great match. I thought, like, Suzu Suzuki. This is, I believe, her second time in the, I must have the GMA, the 5-star. She was in it last year. She only gained, let's see, how did she do in last year's tournament? Let's find out. She did very well for herself, 15 points on the board for last year's tournament. And she did very well for herself, I believe. She ended up pinning, I think she pinned Giulia at one point in the tournament and ended up getting a title match in early this year. Let's find out if Suzu Suzuki was in it the year prior. So no, so this is her second run of the tournament. Obvious so far. Unlike last year, looks like she may go on to the opposite end of a winning streak here. But nothing they should be ashamed about here. They both had a great match. Was my match of the night up until this point, but this was an awesome match. So I encourage you guys. If there was a couple matches on the show, I'll tell you a couple of matches that I would encourage you guys to go back and watch from this show. This is one of them, obviously. Another match that I would encourage you guys to go back and watch: Mayu Iwatani defeating Hazuki. Immediately when this match started, Hazuki was the most over woman in the match. I know people love Mayu Iwatani, but Hazuki, the fact that Hazuki is more over than Momo, says a lot. It says quite a lot, and I just love it. But Momo Watanabe, or not Momo, we just talked about her. Mayu Iwatani got the win here. 2 points on the board for her. She hit her beautiful dragon suplex, which is just a thing of beauty. Dragon suplex, thing of beauty. And even though she lost, I still think Hazuki deserves a shot at the IWGP Women's Title whenever this tournament is over. We'll talk about who may be the champion come that time, because we'll talk about that at the end of the show. But this match was awesome. I enjoyed this match too. This was my other favorite matches of the night. And just nothing else I can say. There's not a lot of good things I can say about this match. I can gotta go back and watch it. Giulia fought Saori Anou to a time limit draw. This was violent, brutal, and disgusting, and I loved every bit of it. Man, these two hate each other. I don't even know. Are they in two different? I'm pretty sure these are two different. Yeah. Cosmic Angels and Donna and Mondo hate each other. Hate each other. They hate like it's not a I hate, they hate each other. They hate each other. Like they literally it's not even an if at this point. But it was crazy. I don't even have words. Like they were, like at one point they were fighting up the ring apron. They fucking doing some other things. Giulia gets suplexed from the ramp onto a bunch of chairs into the crowd by Saori. Just a lot of stuff. Giulia just had enough. She was mega pissed at this point. Started beating the shit out of Saori. Somehow threw her into the chairs and gave her pile driver to the Japanese table. You know how those Japanese tables are. They don't give a fuck about you at all. Saori is bleeding. And this just 15 minutes each match gets here. I want to point this out. Each match until I believe the semifinals get 20 or 30 minutes, and I believe the finals get 60. But before that, every other match is 15 minutes long. And like it went to a time limit draw. Man, that was this probably was my favorite match in the entire night. Just the violence that these two and the violence and hatred these two had for each other was off the chart, and I loved every bit of it, and it was great. What was not so great though Well, we'll talk about the main event in a little bit here. Let's talk about the Stardom. It's a Stardom Dream Team thing that they're doing. If I can find the whole thing that they're doing here. So they got a tag team, a Dream Tag Team Festival thing coming up. They announced the teams here. We got Mayu Iwatani and Saki Kashima. There's going to be a team here. Utami and Maika will be a team here. Nanane and Ruka will be a team. Natsupoi and Saori Anou will be a team. It's kind of unfair when they're in the same group. Okay. Hazuki and Natsuko Tora, which is going to be very interesting. Momo Kogo and Momo Watanabe is going to be a team here. That's hilarious. Mai Sakurai and Mirai are going to be a tag team here. Mariah May and Hanan will be a team here, which is fucking hilarious. Saya Kamitani and Mina Shirakawa. That may not happen now. They may have to do something about that. That may not happen now. We'll talk about that in just a little bit because, we'll talk about why that one may not happen now because of what happened in the main event here. Hina and Rina, the sisters, obviously. You were going to team up the sisters here. Starlight Kid and Azumi. A lot of people are pulling for that to be a tag team. Makes sense. They're forever enemies. They're frenemies is what they are. And Giulia and Suzu Suzuki, which is so fucking bad because I hate each other. I love it. But we'll talk about why the Saya one is very interesting here. In a little bit because the main event was not very good. Not for the reasons you think. So the match starts. It was Tam Nakano taking on Saya Kamitani. Tam Nakano obviously is the Wonder Stardom champion. And the match ends via referee stoppage. And when it first happened, I'm like, what happened? Then I watched the replay. So first off, Tam Nakano thinks she's New Jack jumping off of the staging area. She did that, but then Saya Kamitani thought that one up her. She went onto the scaffolding, the beams that hold the lights up or that are around the ring. She went. I don't know how far she went up, but she jumped off and landed on her elbow, and she ended up, from what we found out by Tokyo Sports, she dislocated her elbow and was forced to end the match. They stopped the match. And I want to give kudos here to Tam here, who, being the professional that she was throughout this entire from the jump to when Saya was stretchered out of the arena. She tried to grab Saya from injuring herself. Unfortunately, didn't get her in time. But from then to being stretchered out, Tam was telling, and I could see her lips moving. I can see her talking to Saya, telling her, "Do not." I'm like, I don't know Japanese very well, but I'm pretty sure she told her, "Do not move at all." Because she knew something was wrong. And was like, nope, do not move. And you can tell Saya was wanted to get up and continue the match, and Tam was like, nah, you're not. No, we're ending it here. And so the referee stopped the match, and the crowd, and I cannot tell you how quiet the arena got. Like, they were in, where were they at tonight? They were in Yokohama. I can't believe they were in Yokohama Arena. No, actually, they might have been. They were somewhere for this show, and like this venue was super quiet. It was damn near like, I don't have words to describe where they're like. Where were they at? Where were they at? Let's find out. Oh, you were in Tokyo. They were in the gymnasium in Tokyo. Like it was quiet. Like the quietness of the arena. They didn't know what was going on here. You even hear, because I believe Saida was on commentary, who I believe is a member of some group. She's a member of one of the groups. I don't remember which one it is. Let me look here. I'm not 100% sure myself. Let me look here. Saida is a member of. She's a member of Stars, but you can hear her voice crack. You can hear the other people's are ringing out. I don't remember. I don't actually know who else was on. I don't even know who else does the commentating for Stardom. They don't have these listed here, like at all. But they just ended the match, and it was the right call too, because had that match continued, whatever had happened to Saya would have gotten worse, and I'm just glad the match was stopped. And sadly, Tam was unfortunately given 2 points on the board. By the way, Giulia and Saori Anou got 1 point each because of the time limit draw. But and you've seen when Saya was being carted off, you see the look on Tam's face, and I tweeted this. I tweeted this out like last night. I gotta find the tweet here. Hang on a second. Sorry, so I said here, the look of disappointment on Tam's face says it all. That's not how she wanted this match to end. Kudos are for her to her breaking character, to making sure Saya was okay. Yeah, and depending on how bad the dislocation is, a dislocation is usually 6 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, and that puts her out for the rest of the. I'm at this point. I'm pretty sure she's not going to be around for the rest of the tournament. I think her tournament run has come to an end. It's very sad, but I wish nothing but the speedy recovery for Saya Kamitani. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Saya Kamitani fan, but you never want to see somebody get injured. You never want to see something like that happen to somebody who is regarded as one of the best. And, you know, just here's what I hope for. When she comes back, I never want her to do that move again. Because actions like that will eventually, unfortunately, happen. And it happened to Saya, and it may have cost her the rest of the tournament. But, again, speedy recovery to Saya Kamitani. But then the show was not over. So they had like time to kill. They had an extra 10 minutes to kill. Not extra 10 minutes. They had extra 5, 6, 7 minutes to kill. So Tam got on the microphone. She was going to start speaking. And then for some reason, lights went on. I didn't know what the hell was going on. And then this giant ass Wonder Woman looking character came up. Come to find out that's Megan. She was, I guess she did stuff for AEW Dark during the pandemic. Apparently she was out with an injury. She for like a year or something, and she's been back. She came back tonight. And I guess is the associate of Utami, because now Utami has challenged Tam Nakano, Mayu Iwatani to the IWGP Women's Championship, and then for some reason Megan has challenged Tam Nakano to the World of Stardom title. My thing is, so you can just show up now and without being a member of the roster and just challenge for the title. So, like, I can show up tomorrow and say, hey, Tam, I'm challenging you for the World of Stardom Championship. I didn't like that. I mean, I get it, the angle. It was supposed to be an angle to follow after the win. I'm pretty sure that was going to be the plan anyways. But to do it immediately after a scary... Because no one cared about the angle after what happened with Saya. Like, the angle meant nothing after what happened to Saya. And I thought that was kind of tasteless on Rossi's part, in my opinion. That's just me. Overall, I thought night one was a very good show. Matches I would encourage you guys to go back and watch from this show. Obviously, Mariah May and Azumi, the match I would go back and watch. Utami and Mina. Syuri and Suzu Suzuki, obviously. Mayu and Hazuki. Giulia and Saori Anou. Obviously, those are the matches I would encourage you guys to go back and watch. Again, thoughts and prayers go out to Saya Kamitani. Hope she comes back soon, and hopefully her injury is not as serious as it looks, even though it's a dislocation. Hopefully the dislocation is not bad enough for she's going to miss several months of television. Or not television, several months of action. That would suck for her, right? That would suck for her. She loses the Wonder Stardom Championship to Mina Shirakawa. Then Mina loses it immediately to Tam Nakano. Then this internal struggle, and then Queen's Quest, who now apparently I guess are on the same page now. I'm not sure at this point, but yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed night one. What's going to happen for the next few weeks? When we get to round night 2, or day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, however many days of the 5-star is. Let's see how many days usually there are of the 5-star. Usually 12, 14, 16 days. So there's usually 14 nights, 14 days or whatever, or 17 days of the 5-star. I'm not gonna cover all of them as a single video, or a single review. So I will eventually, when we get to the Pile Driver Pulse, I'll just put that into the stuff to talk about, like the G1 Climax, because I'm going to talk about the G1 Climax, because I have been watching the G1 Climax. And we'll talk about that on the Pile Driver Pulse, where everything stands on the standings here. And I will also talk about Raw, SmackDown, AEW, Dynamite, and Collision, because I watched it, but I didn't get to review any of the shows, unfortunately. I also will talk about Ring of Honor's Death Before Dishonor, and what I thought about that show. On the Pile Driver Pulse later on tonight. That show will be up eventually. We'll talk about that. I'll let you guys know on the social media, just to keep a lookout. Keep an eye out on the Pile Driver Pulse. I've been Matt the Misfit, the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. Until then, we're out.